Hey guys, welcome back to The Final Gentleman. My name is Justin Jeffers. We have Jeff Morgan, the Style OG, with us here today. Jeff, great guy in the menswear space. We are coming at you from Austin, Texas. We got a bunch of guys here, and we've had a great week of kind of sharing knowledge, sharing content, making content together. And I wanted to get Jeff on the channel today, not so much to talk about men's style, because he has about 639 videos on his channel. He was putting out basically a video a day for 2 years, which is an incredible artistic output. So props to that. That's impressive. But I want to talk about his own personal journey, how he got to menswear. Jeff, he's had 1 or 2 careers before this. He is still a doctor of chiropractic medicine, although he does not practice, but he left that to do YouTube and menswear full time. And I don't think his story has been told much. And so I wanted to kind of give him an opportunity to tell that story and ask him a couple questions about it. And being that he is a humble Philadelphian, he doesn't necessarily talk about himself that much. So I wanted to kind of seize upon this opportunity. Jeff and I met a couple years ago at Menfluential down in Atlanta. We're also from Philadelphia. We didn't meet in Philadelphia, we met through men's style stuff. Right. But we have a shared love of the Eagles, the city of Philadelphia, and of course, Tastykake, which, hey, Tastykake, if you're looking for people to sponsor, yup. You can pay me in crimpets. I don't know about you.
Crimpets and cupcakes.
Yep. Oh, candy cakes too. Yeah. So anyways, talk about yourself. Like, what's your story? How'd you get to menswear? Why is it important to you? What does it mean to you? Because I really just don't think your story's out there much.
Sure. So like Justin said, I'm a chiropractor and a successful chiropractor in Philadelphia since 2000. That's my first love, my first passion, career-wise. But I've always had a passion since I was a kid for style. I was someone who kind of maybe overdressed for work. I always liked to dress up when I went to the office. I'd take my fancy jacket off and put the lab jacket on. But I noticed that I would get a lot of questions from guys like, what made you decide to wear that? That's cool. Why did you wear? So I found myself giving a lot of style advice. And to be honest, what happened, I kind of got to a point where I still enjoyed my chiropractic career, but after doing something so long, some of the passion does dwindle a little bit. I still enjoyed it, but it didn't fulfill me as much as it had. So I would watch other style channels. First, I was a consumer and a viewer of style channels, and I really enjoyed some of the guys we all watch, like Antonio and Jose and Aaron. Yeah. But I said, these guys are talking about style. They have good style. I think I can do that. Yeah. So it's an outlet for me to be able to talk about something I love, and I thought it was something tangible because I saw those guys doing it. Yeah. So that's how I first came up with the idea. Yeah. However, I didn't do it right away.
I know, and I know that you were doing both for a while as well.
I didn't even start right away when I had the idea. I had the idea a year before, and I did probably what a lot of you guys did. I questioned myself, should I do it? And me being a guy who's in his 40s and comes from maybe an earlier generation from a lot of guys, I'm from the go to school, get a degree, get a career, work it as long as you can and retire. So there was a little bit of fear on my part, like to break away from that normal paradigm. But eventually I just said, hey man, do something different. Take something that's youthful and different, take a risk and give it a shot. Yeah. I didn't give up my day job. I did both. For probably 18 months I did both. Fortunately, the channel took off very well. And after like 18 months, I was able to, at first it was gonna be temporarily stop being a doctor. But now, because the channel's been so successful and I enjoy it so much, I'm kind of semi-permanently retired from chiropractic and able to do the style stuff.
Yeah, but I know how you work. I'm gonna guess you're working more hours and harder at this than you were at chiropractic, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. But similar to when I started chiropractic, when I started chiropractic, and I don't know if you guys are a lot of entrepreneurs out there, you work a lot of hours when you're your own boss.
Passion, you
love it. Tons and tons, you can't turn it off. Yeah. But I do work a little bit more with this, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it's the same. It's more hours, but it feels like because it's more something I love. I love clothes, I love shoes. Yeah. So even though I work more, it's more enjoyable because it's something that I love. Yeah. Yeah. But it's a lot of work. I'll be honest with you guys, for the first 2 years, I was working maybe 90 to 100 hours.
Yeah, you got to hustle.
90 to 100 hours a week.
And so I think you hit on something a minute ago, and I know I did this. I think a lot of the guys here did this. In the beginning, when you have the idea, you're refining your vision. You're figuring out, okay, what medium do I want to go on to? Is it Instagram? Is it a website? Is it YouTube? Is it all the above or something else? TikTok, what have you. And you kind of like lurk in the shadows, whether it's, you're commenting on, an Alpha M video or like a Cavalier video.
Right.
You're on, asking about clothes or style form or whatever it is.
Sure.
And you're kind of just like, you're learning.
Right.
And you're, like I said, you're refining the vision. So is that kind of what you did in that year?
I did. In that year.
Because when you came out, you came out guns blazing.
In that year, I did.
And you had a plan.
I did two things in that year. So I had watched a lot of the style stuff. So I already had an idea of what the guys were doing.
Yeah.
So let's say my research year, I did 80% learning how to build a YouTube channel despite the niche.
Yeah.
So I came into it with a plan that I'm going to do daily content because I started in March of 2017. That was what was working at the time.
Yeah.
And I saw, as an example, Jose from Teaching Men's Fashion, I saw his channel take off when he started doing daily content and other stuff that he made improvements in as well.
Yeah.
So I'm someone, and I said it earlier in our meeting today, I believe you should steal from other people, not steal, but I say steal, but you mirror success.
Yeah.
And the reason why it worked for me, so I watched the other guys and I did what they did as I was able to find my voice. So while I used their template to get started, I was able to use my voice, because anybody that starts a YouTube channel in the beginning, you're gonna suck.
Yeah.
You're gonna be nervous, you're not gonna be good on camera, especially 99% of us have never really been on camera before, most YouTube people.
And it is so weird when you're editing yourself and you hear yourself, you see your mannerisms.
It's
like
crazy.
I look back at this and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I said that, I moved like that.
Yeah, I learned, I never knew I talked with my hands so much.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until on camera.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird, progression of things.
Right.
Now that you're kind of in the business full time, what does it mean to you? You've kind of always been your own boss, but what does it mean to you to have an audience, to have people that trust you and that look to you for advice? And that's something that I've over the years found that's very fulfilling, but also I value very highly because it's a special relationship.
It means a lot to me. And for me, it was something that I always got derived pleasure from, being a chiropractor, helping people feel better, taking them out of pain. It always felt good to give. And I have that tangible, thanks, Doc. I feel better to have that, knowing giving and getting paid for giving is always a great thing. But this is very similar in a lot of ways, where I get a lot of emails from guys like, this is stuff my dad never taught me, or I didn't have a dad, or you're like the older brother that I always wanted. So it's an example, I had a guy, even when I just started, didn't have a lot of subscribers, he was actually a quadriplegic. I don't know how he did it, but someone emailed me and he had an outfit on in the chair of exactly something I would wear.
Good for him. That's
cool. I was almost in tears. He's like, Jeff, did I get it right? I want to dress like you.
That's cool.
And to have that he said, I'm a quadriplegic, but you make my day. I want to be stylish. Small things. Like I have a lot of guys say, I was able to get that job, or I got that first date because you taught me the importance of style and image. And when I got in it, I didn't know, it was more for self-expression. And I knew I would help people because I would do it on a one-on-one basis when I had friends or family, but I didn't know so many guys could use advice on something that I took for granted that I actually did have to teach myself. I learned a lot of stuff on my own. Yeah. So to be able to kind of help people cut the line and learn, it's very rewarding. Yeah. Very rewarding.
I would agree with that. And it is nice to help, guys out, and it's nice to kind of have a point of view on style and on how you can communicate through your own style.
Exactly.
I think it's really, to me, fulfilling and really quite enjoyable.
For sure. So for me too, and I'll give you guys a little bit more about me. Yeah. For me, one of the reasons why style has always been important for me personally is that I'm someone who shy, maybe borderline, some social anxieties. So for style, for me, it was ability for me, even as a kid, to have a personal business card. I would put on something that I liked or I felt represented me, and then I could walk in the room and not have to talk until I got comfortable. But I wanted people to judge me.
Or someone could come up to you and start a conversation.
And I wanted people to judge me on what I wore because I wore something that represented how I wanted to present. Yeah. So them making that judgment and saying, okay, he's dressed a certain way. It was a way for me to get over my shyness and get into the room by having, I call my style was my personal business card to introduce someone. So they had, okay, he's a well-dressed young man. He likes nice sneakers. Back then when I was a kid, it was nice sneakers and nice jeans. As I got older, it became suits. But it's a way to kind of express yourself and to communicate non-verbally. So that's something why style was important to me. Yeah. That I was able to kind of have an intro into a room without having to say anything when I could get over that initial shyness.
Yeah, I think that's Totally fair and very accurate. I think for a lot of guys who are interested in style, it is a way to communicate.
Definitely.
It is a way to create a first impression.
For sure.
As we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to share about yourself or your channel, or just in style in general, that you think is a great lesson that guys could carry forward, as they move along in their maybe style journey, or maybe even their kind of entrepreneurial journey, if there are guys who are watching this who are interested in starting their own business?
For sure. What I want to suggest is something that I found that's helped me in this is to not be afraid. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm from the old school where you just had one career, and if it didn't work, you just kept pounding your head.
Yeah.
But even though I'm an old school guy, I know now most people are not going to have the same career their whole life. You may have 7-8 jobs in different careers. Don't be afraid to, you may not be as extreme as I did and stop being a doctor to talk about shoes and clothes.
Yeah.
But something maybe a little less than, don't be afraid to explore some passions. You might be able to make money in your passions. You may find something that's fulfilling and pay the bills in a new entrepreneurial chance just by doing something different and not being afraid to step out on faith or whatever you like to call it and do something they have a love for and something that you think might be outside the box. And it actually, I'm a testament that it can work.
Yeah.
It can work. But it's going to take a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
You got to
It's
grind.
still going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Jeff, thanks for being here. Can you tell everybody where they can find you, Stylogy?
For sure. The easiest way to find me, I'm Jeff at the Stylogy YouTube channel. I put out a video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern about men's style, grooming, and dating. You can check me out there. Same thing at Instagram, the Stylogy. Those are the two easiest places to check me out.
Awesome. Well, Jeff, thanks for being here.
Thanks
Guys,
for having me.
Again, my name is Justin Jeffers from The Fine Young Gentleman. I hope you learned something. Hope you got some value out of this. Please keep watching. I'll see you next time.